fearless leaders. They are both still in London, England. You know, they were in London this weekend motivating and inspiring people. That's exactly what our fearless leader Les Brown does. He's on a mission to inspire and to ignite and to light up 100,000 voices of hope. And so he's traveling the globe sharing his message. And so tonight, you know, when he's gone, he always leaves someone in his stead. And tonight, that's going to be me. Tonight, I'm not only going to be your host, but I'm also going to deliver your message. Now, I don't really worry about that because sometimes you have to be ready to go. Sometimes you have to be ready to step up. And sometimes you have to be ready to do things that are different, abnormal, out of the ordinary. And here's what they say, that if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And so tonight, when they called me, they said, hey, Ruben, we're still over in London. Can you handle the call? I said, I'm ready. So I just want to say that I am excited to have the opportunity to be on this call. And on behalf of Les Brown, who has put in the work to train voices that speak inspiration and motivation across the globe, I want to welcome you to this call. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Ruben West. I was born in Topeka, Kansas, and sometimes I travel across the country with our fearless leader, Les Brown. As a matter of fact, him and I will be in Topeka, Kansas on November 30th. That's right, Topeka, Kansas on November 30th with Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant and Roland Manning from Dublin, Ohio. So if you don't have that information, make sure you write that down. If you want information on how you can get tickets to that event, go to www.dinnerwithles.com. www.dinnerwithles.com. Tonight, I'm going to talk to you, and I have a message for you, and I think this message is divinely inspired. And tonight, I'm going to talk to you about the fact that you need to go get your dream. That's right, I said it, that you need to go get your dream. And who am I talking about? Well, let me tell you, for a long time, this message would have been directed towards me. See, there was a time in my life where I knew that there was something that I was called to do, but for whatever reason, I just wasn't doing it. And when I speak across the country, I run into a lot of people who find themselves in that very situation. And you wonder, what is it that keeps people from going to get their dream? What is it that keeps people from pursuing their dream? Why do they have their life on hold? And it's because we get hit sometimes. We have setback after setback, and sometimes those setbacks cause us to give up. As a matter of fact, I was just conducting a training in Bloomington, Illinois this weekend. And it was amazing. I mean, I had people from across the country, people from other countries that attended this training, and it was amazing. But as I listened to the people talk, I realized that there was something going on in the room, that we were being inspired at a level that we never thought possible. And one of the people who talked was my friend Sakoni Prince. Sakoni Prince is from Mobile, Alabama. And he talked about when he was younger, he used to stutter. And that this was a condition that he had that really caused him a lot of pain. And he noticed one day that his son was stuttering. And he said, wait a minute. I have to do something about that. He said, son, I need to teach you how to slow down, because what I don't want to do is I don't want you to have to go through all of the things that I went through. See, when he was younger, he said he used to get teased. And so he knew what it was like to experience pain. And for someone listening right now, you've experienced pain. And it might not be because you are physically stutter. It may be because of, I don't know, how you look. It may be because you talk with an accent and you moved into a different neighborhood or to a different state. It may be because of the color of your skin. It may be because you were a certain religion and it caused you to dress a certain way. But for Sakoni, he said that it was rough because he always had something that he wanted to say. And for some reason, with the stuttering problem, he couldn't get it out. And so what he was trying to say was never clear. And I get it. He's over that now. If you look him up, Saucony Prince on YouTube or Saucony Prince on Facebook, you'll see that he's over it now. But here's what I know, that some of us are not over it. Some of us are stuttering with our life, that we keep making the same mistake over and over again, that we try to move forward, we end up right back in the same place. And then we try to move forward and we end up right back in the same place. And we're never getting to our dream. And for some of us, you know what that looks like? That means that you're trying to move from one relationship to a new relationship. But here's the problem. The relationship is the same as the last relationship. Different name, same attitude. Different name, same problem. Different name, same abuse. We're just stuttering. For some of us, the stutter is our job. That we end up in the same, not the same job, but the same type of job. We move, same type of job. And so, in other words, we keep going back the same thing, and we're not moving ahead. So what do you do in that situation? Saucony said he had to get help. He had to learn to slow down and evaluate exactly where he wanted to go, that he didn't want to stutter, that he wanted to talk clearly. And he knew that it was going to take work. You know why? Because Saucony Prince wanted to be a speaker. He said that he wanted to motivate and inspire crowds, and there was a period of time where he wasn't going to do it because of a stuttering problem. But he knew that it was what he was called to do. He knew that he had to go back and get his dream. What dream have you been called to do? And what is it going to take for you to manifest? What have you walked away from that you know that you've been called to do? When I was at this training, I met a wonderful lady named Eva from Nairobi, Kenya. And she had this beautiful, melodious voice. As a matter of fact, as she took the stage, she started to sing. It was wonderful. And let me tell you what she said. She said singing was her gift. See, we all have a gift. She said singing was her gift. And that she loved to sing. And that she was in the choir at church. And she sang all the time, and people loved her voice. I could tell why, because when we heard her sing, we loved it. And then she said something happened. She said her father died. And she said that her father was her light. Her father gave her strength and inspiration. Her father gave her motivation. And when her father died, her voice died. When her father died, her dream died. And you know that's crazy because there's someone on the call that may have been through a difficult situation, that they lost someone very dear to them, the very person that gave them the motivation to keep going forward, the very person that gave them the motivation to bounce back again and again, the person that they wanted to run to and tell their good news. And then when they died, when they were gone, their dream died. What Eva told us is that she buried her dream with her father. And she left the country. She said she moved to the U.S. and just started living an average, mediocre life. That her existence just consisted of going to work every day. How many of you know people whose existence just consists of going to work every day? They know they have a dream. They buried that dream, and now their existence just consists of going to work each and every day. I have some news for you. I heard this from my friend Corey at the training. You know what Corey said? Corey said, if you work for someone else to build their dream, just know this. They're renting your God-given equity. Wow. I'm going to give you that one again. He said, if you're working for someone else to build their dream, just know this. They're renting your God-given equity. Yeah. That's the way it is sometimes. See, we have to make up in our mind that if there's something that we want to do, we have to be willing to go after it. But one of the reasons that we don't go after it is once you've walked away from your dream for so long, you can't recognize it anymore. That it's kind of blurry to you, that you're not seeing straight because you're too far away from it. I know what that's like. I remember being at the store one time. I was walking into the grocery store and I saw a friend of mine and I yelled at him across the parking lot and I waved. And the guy didn't wave back. And so as I got closer to the guy, I realized that I was waving at the wrong person, that wasn't my friend. But as I got closer to my source, my sight became clearer. And someone on this call, the reason you can't really see what's going on is because you're too far away from your source. What is it that gives you the source of your dream? What is it that gives you that motivation? What is it that makes you want to do it or willing to go back again and again? And what do you need to employ to put that into action? See, some people give up on their dream because it's too hard. They know what it is they want to do, but they don't know how to do it. I'm going to give you that one again. They know what they want to do, but they don't know how to do it. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, there's a difference between comprehension and competency. Comprehension is understanding what you want. Competency is knowing how to do it. When you understand what you want, you now have to gain competency. How do you do that? You surround yourself with people that can help you learn and understand and gain knowledge towards how to accomplish your mission. You have to do that. See, one of the reasons that we all came together this weekend is because we could comprehend what we wanted to do, but we wanted to gain competency on how to do it. And so I would suggest that as we spent time together this weekend, it worked. Now, let me give you this one, too. Sometimes we bury our head in the sand. It's not that we're too far away, that we won't look up. As a matter of fact, at the training, I met this lady named Phyllis. She was from Peoria, Illinois. Beautiful lady. She was tall and slender, had a beautiful smile. But let me tell you what Phyllis said. She said when she was in school, she hit a growth spurt. And just like that, she was taller than all the other kids. She stood out. See, somebody knows what I'm talking about right now because somebody was tall and they stood out, but someone else knows what I'm talking about because they have been given gifts, skills, and talent and abilities that make them stand out. But Phyllis said she just spent all her time trying to fit in. That even though she was tall, she would slump and stoop, and she'd hold her head down. She said they called on her in school just because she was the first person they'd seen, so she'd just keep her head down, hoping to fit in. That she didn't want to be seen. And there's people on the call right now that you know you have a gift. People have told you, man, when you sing, it lights up the room. People have told you, man, the way you work with those children, man, when you walk in the door, you can see the smile on their faces and they say, wow, the way you do that hair, nobody does it like you. You should open up your own salon. Man, you've been through some really difficult things in your life and you've made it. And someone needs to hear that story. You should write a book. And then we just bury our head in the sand. See, turtles have sight. They can see what's right in front of them. But giraffes have vision. They can see in the distance. And if you've lost your dream, all you can see right now is what's in front of you. You get caught up in the day-to-day activity. You get caught up in the fact that you're renting your God-given equity. You get caught up in the fact that really you've gotten so far away from your source that your vision isn't clear anymore. And you're wondering, what is it that I'm supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? And you ask yourself those questions hoping that you will get an answer. And there is an answer. But you have to get quiet. You have to get still and understand that no one's going to give the answer to you. You have to go give it. But that answer's for you. But you have to go back and get your dream. Phyllis said a teacher told her, stop slouching. Stand up. Hold your head up. I'm going to hold you accountable. And she said this teacher wouldn't allow her to slouch in her seat. She said, you know what? I wish I was that tall. How many of you ever heard somebody say to someone else, I wish I could sing like that, or I wish I could run like that. I wish I had your knowledge or your skill or your talent. I wish I could write like that. I wish I could read like that. I wish I could speak like that. Boy, if I could do that, I'd tear it up. Why do they have to say that? Because the person is not using their God-given equity. And Phyllis says she got an accountability partner in the form of a teacher. I know what that's like. I remember this nurse named Edwina Blackman in Wichita, Kansas, who I just dedicated another book. We just released another book on Monday. And this book came out, but the foreword in the book and the dedication I wrote, and I dedicated it to Edwina Blackman. Now, let me tell you about Edwina Blackman. She was my number one encourager. She was saying, Ruben, you can do this. Ruben, you can start your own business. Ruben, people will listen to you. And it was great because I started listening to her. I started my own business. I started doing things to get people to listen to me. But let me tell you what happened. One day I was sitting at the cafeteria at the hospital eating, and she came down and she said, Ruben, I'd like to talk to you outside. And I said, well, okay, I'm on lunch. And she said, now. I said, oh, okay. And I got up and walked outside. And not only did she walk outside, but there was another nurse that walked out. Her name was Johanna. And she said, Ruben, I just heard something. And it perplexed me. And I just thought to myself, it can't be true. And I said, well, Edwina, what did you hear? She said, that's not the point. It's not even the fact that I heard it. It's the fact that somebody had the audacity to say it about you. That you have to hold yourself above reproach. That I don't ever want to hear nothing like that about you again. You got me? And I said, well, do you got me? Yeah, I got you. She said, okay, then, enjoy your lunch. And I had no idea what she was talking about. But you know what I did? I just started monitoring everything I did. I started monitoring everything I said. You know why? Because she was willing to hold me accountable. She cared about my dream. And so if you're going to get your dream, you have to surround yourself with people that care. You have to surround yourself with people that are going to be willing to hold you accountable for the things that you are capable of. You know why? Because you only have so much time to use these skills and talents. I've told you before, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said potential has a shelf life, that you won't be able to do it for the rest of your life. That you have to do it now. But you know what a lot of us do? A lot of us live our life on pause. Let me break that down for you. Have you ever been watching a TV show or listening to some music or CD and you get a knock at the door or a phone call and you don't want to miss out on anything on this show, so you put it on pause. And then you go get the door or you go answer the phone. But sometimes they say something that gets our attention and we forget that the TV was on. We forget when we were in the part of this movie. We never even got to the good part. Listen, there's some of us who have been on our way towards our dream, but because something came into our life and interrupted our life, we put our dream on pause. And then because we got so busy over here, listen to that, we got so busy over here that we never went back and hit what? Play. We never even got to the good part. And now we're living our life with our dream on pause. Wow. And so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because you only have so much time. What are you going to do? Because you have to get that the dream that you've been given, it probably wasn't to serve you. The dream that you've been given, it was to benefit someone else. You know why? Because, let me tell you how I know. Because to manifest your dream, it takes vision. See, sight is seeing things how they are. Vision is seeing things how they could be. And whenever you're applying vision, you're changing a situation not only for you, but for someone else. Listen to that. Whenever you're changing a situation with vision, you're not only changing it for you, you're changing it for someone else. You can see a husband and wife. If they have sight, that's all you see. But if they have vision, then they're going to have a family. They said, wait a minute, how do I carry on my last name? Well, let's have a child. How do they even come up with that idea? Because they're looking at how it could be, not how it is. And now watch this. If the parents don't have a child, that's fine. But when they're gone, the name is gone. If the parents have vision and they have a child, when they're gone, the name lives on. My favorite book says that where there is no vision, people perish. If they have no vision, the name perishes. And so here's my question for you. When you look at what you know you're supposed to do, when you look at what you know your gift is, when you look at your God-given equity, how does it affect your vision? Whose life is it designed to impact? Whose world is it designed to change? What difference is it designed to make? And who will be affected if you do it? And who will be neglected if you don't? Because you got to figure out how you're going to employ this. You got to figure out how you're going to move forward. I know it's been difficult. I know it's been hard. That's exactly what Eva, my friend Eva from Nairobi, Kenya, that I told you about, who buried her dream when her father died. That's exactly what she talked about. She said that it was hard. She said it was difficult, that she couldn't find a reason to sing. And that all she had been doing was moving forward. Watch this, you guys. I'm going to hit you with this one. She said all she had been doing was moving forward. There's so many people in their life, and all they're doing is moving forward. They went to the job yesterday. They're going to the job today, and they'll go to the job tomorrow. They're just marching forward. They've had this relationship. It's not working out, but they just continue to go because they're just marching forward. But now watch this. There's a difference between moving forward and moving on. Right? You got to get that one. There's a difference between moving forward and moving on. Because sometimes it's not about moving forward. But sometimes you have to leave that where it's at. That sometimes you have to move on. That sometimes you have to let go of the baggage. P. Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs, was in an interview, and they asked him, they said, P. Diddy, how did you know when you had made it? And he said, well, because you have a lot of stuff going for you. You're a megastar. You have artists. How did you know when you made it? Was it when you had so much money? Or was it when you had so many automobiles? Or when you knew you had so many homes? How did you know you had made it? Was it your entourage? He said, no. It wasn't the money necessarily, and it wasn't the homes, and it wasn't necessarily the cars, and it wasn't necessarily the entourage. They said, well, then how did you know that you had made it? He said, well, when I can travel without baggage. Wow. I don't even know if he knew how prophetic that statement was. He said, when I can travel without baggage. See, the reason some of us can't move on and we're just moving forward is because we're still holding on to all of that baggage. I want you to say to yourself, let it go. Eva had to get to the point where she realized that it wasn't enough for me to just move forward in this hurt and in this grief. That I had to find a way to move on. That I have to go back and get my dream. And Eva stood there with power, feeling, and conviction. And she said, I went back to Nairobi, Kenya. And I said, I've got to go back to the place where they buried my father. Because at that very place is the place I buried my dream. And she said she went back to the site. And she reached out and picked up a handful of the sand. And she let it go. And in that moment, she knew that she wasn't going to move forward. In that moment, she knew that she was about to move on, that her father was in the inside. But there were some things about him that death couldn't take. See, I don't know if you've ever seen a glass of water. If you look at it, you can take a glass and it has water in it, and the water is held within the glass. It just holds it there. It doesn't go anywhere unless you tip the glass back and forth. But check this out. You could take a light and shine it into the glass, and it literally comes out on the other side. See, there's some structures that's not made to contain what you hold. See, the casket could contain her father's physical being, but it couldn't contain his spiritual being. It couldn't contain his aura, his ambiance, his gift. It couldn't contain his essence. You know why? Because it was in her. There's something in you that has been given to you that will help you manifest your dream. Check this out. We, us, people, humans, here's a newsflash for you. The good stuff is on the inside. You might as well call us Oreos. Why? Because the good stuff is on the inside. Eva decided that no longer will she silence herself. No longer will she be quiet. No longer will she just move forward. That today she was going to move on. You know why? Because she made the decision that I'm suggesting that you make. That you go back and get your dream. That dream was given to you. That dream is a gift. And you can't waste it. That even if you're working for somebody else, you're working to use the skills, the gifts, the talents that God has given you. That dream can only be manifested by using your God-given equity. I'm Ruben talking to somebody on this call. I'm telling you, live your best life. And you know how? To make sure you get your dream. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening to this call. I hope it gave you a sense of value. I'm going to see if I can unmute the call. Just hold on 1 second.
All callers are unmuted. All callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
All right, so if anybody would like to share some feedback on the call, tell me what you thought. I would love to hear it. I do have a few minutes, so if you're available to and you'd like to, hit *6 and let me hear what you say. Have a say.
I am over here in tears. I just logged in, and everything you said tonight just hit the nail on the head, especially top. You just mentioned opening the salon, and I'm trying to reopen one after losing one in a divorce. And going back and undigging my dream. And after tonight, it just gave me a lot of encouragement.
Who am I talking to?
My name is Aida.
Aida.
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Aida. I just love it because sometimes, you know, check this out, the spirit sees what's invisible to the eye. And so they just called me and asked me if I would deliver a message, and I said yes. I had no idea what the message was going to be. But now I know who the message was for. So thank you. And I want to encourage you to find a way to go back and get your dream. Thank you, Aida. I appreciate the comment. Is there anyone else that'd like to comment?
Dr. West, this is Barrett Matthews in Maryland.
Okay, say that one more time. This is who?
This is Barrett Matthews in Maryland.
Oh, Barrett Matthews. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Barrett, how's it going?
It is going marvelously well, and I am improving, man. I want to thank you so much for the message tonight, and I want to thank you again for the training that we were able to attend with you over the weekend. I can't even put into words how much you gave to us, and you inspired us, and everyone is just moved to just give now and to just go on and change lives. And I just want to thank you for bringing that to us and bringing the message tonight. And I just want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing and keep encouraging others to give.
Absolutely, Barrett. I appreciate you, and I want to encourage you. And just like we know that sometimes life hits us all, but we have to find to not only just move forward, but to move on. So thank you, sir, and I appreciate your kind words. Who else do we have on the line?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
This is Dr. Nikisha.
Dr. Nikisha, welcome.
Thank you, sir. I wanted to I feel like it's a continuation again from the weekend. I'm still speechless about the training, but when you spoke tonight, just moments ago, about two things came to me when you mentioned about surrounding yourself with people that care, and then the baggage. Because I think sometimes we can be weighted down with baggage and don't even know it. And then, sometimes when you're surrounded by people that you think care, and then when God allows you to see their hand, you realize that, do they really do they care? So those resonate really heavy, all of what you said, but I'm hearing for myself, baggage and surrounding myself with people that care. So.
Yeah, and that's what we all have to do. And I could tell you, the work that you're doing with the youth and your program, and it's necessary, it's needed, and it's your God-given equity. Dr. Nikisha, thank you so much for being on the call.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Wes. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Man, I am doing awesome today. First off,
excellent.
I tweeted a post about 7 hours ago that your message is congruent with what I had posted. It was about putting my intentions out into the world. I'm scared shitless, actually, at the magnitude of what I have put out into the universe. But I'm so beyond a shadow of a doubt that God is going to come through for me with this process. He's going to use me as a vehicle to make this process happen. And after
I love it.
2 people called me that had the skills already to make my intentions a reality.
I love it. Man, I love it. See what happens when you act with faith and you put it out there?
Yes. Yes.
I love that. It's interesting because a lot of people get stuck. A lot of people get stopped. But here's the thing. There's a difference between failure and finishing. Because failure is deciding that you will finish where you're at. Finishing is deciding that where you're at is where you will start. You can't stay where you're at. And so I commend you. Yes, it's scary. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. They're not big enough. If you know how you're going to do it by yourself, then you don't need faith. And we know that we were instructed to act by faith and not by sight, to walk with faith and not by sight. So you did the exact right thing. You put it out there. You had the right intention, and then that intention was honored. Congratulations. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the fact that you shared that.
Thank you.
Hey,
Good afternoon, Dr. West. This is Nanette Bari from Palmdale, California. How are you?
I am doing well. Go ahead, California.
Good. I was just checking in to say first thank you. I just love that you enjoy what you do. I love seeing people in their passion, and I can see it through you. And then secondly, a lot of times when I'm looking at my vision and things that I'm going to do, I just look at how it's going to affect me first versus what you said today was, who else can it affect? Me holding on to my dream, someone else is missing out on something. So you just helped me see why it's so important for me to keep moving on my vision and doing what I'm doing. And then I love the Oreo analogy as well.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to interject your comments on the call. Very insightful and much appreciated. Thank you.
Take care.
Hi, Cynthia. Hello. Yeah, I was just listening on a call, and I just wanted to say I, too, am one of the people that you were speaking, and I put my life on pause. My father died about 5 years ago on Christmas Day, and that devastated my family because my father was a family man. He was an entrepreneur, and I come from a family of entrepreneurs. And my father had one of the last black businesses in West Philadelphia. And so my father was very well known in the community. And so it just devastated me. And I put my life on pause. And the word that you released today that really encouraged me was about pushing that play button. And then also, I've just been traveling with a lot of baggage. And, you know, like whenever I travel, I always pack too much stuff that I don't really need. And then I just really had to look at that as well, that sometimes I just carry too much stuff that I don't really need to carry. And so that was another area that I needed to look at as well. So I just wanted to say I really appreciate the call, and thank you for sharing.
You're certainly welcome. I appreciate your comments. I'm glad that you let me know that resonated with you. Thank you so much. And, you know, we're here every Monday, so make sure you tune in for motivation and inspiration. I appreciate your comments. Is there someone else that would like to make a comment?
Hey, Ruben West, how you doing? It's Myron.
I'm doing well. I'm doing great, Myron. How are you doing?
Outstanding. I tell you that that is a profound analogy. When you can travel without baggage,
yes,
you know your vision is clear. You at that point, you know, and only until then, I think, when you have conceived it, it's clear. At that point, you have arrived to your vision. It's no code, no confusion. It's such a deep, profound statement.
Yes,
it resonates in a lot of. It's the core. So I love that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, and thank you for recognizing that. I love the fact that you put that out of there. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your comment.
Thank you, Ruben.
Yes, sir. Was there someone else who would like to make a comment?
Hey, Dr. West, this is Dr. Ed Womack.
Hey, Ed Womack, the life transformer. How are you doing, sir?
I'm still trying to recover from missing the weekend with my Black Belt speaker family. That's how I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to once again come on and say, one, how grateful and fortunate I am to not only work underneath you and be able to learn with you, but also to be a part of the Black Belt speaker family. And this weekend, although circumstances prevented me from being there, I watched from afar, and the energy, I'm sure it was more intense in the room, but even watching from afar, having experienced what it was like to be in the room, I could only imagine. And there seemed to have been such a great excitement. Congratulations on the release of the Black Belt Speaker Group book and the impact that your work, our work, collectively has. The whole teamwork, making the dream work, has just become such an inherent part of my lifestyle as a result of working with yourself and the Black Belt speakers. And I just want to, again, thank you for all you've poured into me, all that's yet to come. And just really want to encourage those that are on this call to keep coming back and keep staying connected and find your dream, find your way to make that impact. Understand that you are the aspirin to somebody's headache. Don't let people keep suffering.
Thank you, Ed. Man, I appreciate you. You're absolutely right. And we had so many people torn in different directions that were experiencing different things, but they had literal breakthroughs at this event this weekend. And one of the things that kept coming up was the fact that people had lost out. I mean, people had lost jobs. They've been let go. They've been left in relationships. And here's something I got to share with you that I learned this weekend. It hit me. Rejection is not something to cry over. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I know it because you've been rejected. You know, Phyllis talked about she was rejected by the other kids, that she was rejected by these different things. But rejection is not something to cry over. It's something that you celebrate. And here's why. Rejection is a divine announcement that the person or institution no longer has the capacity to help you develop your greatness. That's powerful. Right? I got to give that again. Rejection is a divine announcement that the person or institution no longer has the capacity to help you develop your greatness. It's not about moving forward. It's about moving on. Who else has a comment?
Hey, Coach.
Ruben, this is Roland from Ohio.
Hey, Ruben from Dublin, Ohio. How's it going?
It's going great. First of all, I just want to thank you for a great training this weekend. It was unbelievable, and I'll be sure to share your information with everybody, because I think anybody that wants to move ahead or get more out of life and live their best life, as you would say, should definitely contact you, because you have changed people's lives, including mine. So I just want to thank you for that. But I really enjoyed the message today, and when you were talking about the past and letting go of the past, it reminded me of a quote from Henry Beecham. And he said, "In this world, it's not what we pick up, but what we give up that makes us rich." And I think it goes right with what you said, because some of the times we pick up some of those past failures and what other people think and limited beliefs and stuff, and it doesn't allow us to gather the riches in life. Whereas as we give them up, I think we can go a lot further.
Yes, absolutely. A closed hand can't receive. That's perfect, Roland Manny. I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're on the call, Roland Manny is going to be one of the speakers on November 30th in Topeka, Kansas, with myself, Dr. Stacy N.T. Grant, and the man himself, Les Brown. So make sure, if you'd like to attend that event, go to www.dinnerwithles.com, www.dinnerwithles.com, and get your tickets. It's less than $70. It's a full 4-hour event. There's going to be inspiration, motivation, dinner. We are releasing some, I can't give all the secrets away. This is not an event that you want to miss. So, Roland, thank you so much. I appreciate your comment.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Hey, Coach, this is John McClung in New Mexico.
Hey, John McClung from Las Cruces, New Mexico. How's it going?
How you doing, sir? And again, I want to convey what Dr. Womack said of missing the weekend as being a black belt speaker. But this evening, your message was strong. One of the things that it did, it gave me affirmation, because I was going to do a periscope on vision and the 6 things that you need for your vision. And I think that when individuals, especially with the message that you convey and that you talk about, when it begins to resonate, you have to understand that you're a vessel. You must invest in yourself. You must make sacrifices. You must inspire with your vision. You must look for opportunities, and you must know that your vision is necessary. And if you look at all those words, it spells out vision, and I'll be talking about that tonight. And I love you, my brother, because you are the reason we do what we do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John McClung. I had to wear my shirt the other day. He's the founder of the I Am a Testimony clothing line. And so anytime we're going to walk in our vision, we understand that we are a testimony. So thank you very much, sir. I'll take 2 to 3 more, and then we have to move on. Is there anybody else that'd like to say anything?
It's Vicki from Connecticut. Can you hear me?
Vicki from Connecticut, absolutely. What would you like to say, Vicki?
Absolutely great call tonight. I've missed a few, but I was glad to be on tonight. What you said, let's see, who will be affected if you use your, did you say gift, and who will be affected if you don't? What was the?
Yes, yeah. If you use your gift.
Okay.
All right. The gift is not for you. The gift is for giving.
Absolutely.
Right? We did give. And so many times we hold on to them thinking about ourselves, why it's hard for us, why it's difficult for us, that we don't have everything we need, not knowing that somebody else needs that to survive. Just watch this. Watch this, you guys. Watch this. I say this all the time. An apple tree doesn't eat apples, and the fruit it bears is for someone else. Now watch this, though. There's someone who can survive off of that apple tree, right? But the apple tree doesn't need it to survive. It can release all of the fruit, and it doesn't need it. There's someone, and your gift is going to be the oxygen to their lungs.
Yeah.
Please help them breathe.
Yeah, it's a great word. That's great. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome, Vicki. Another caller? Okay.
This is Anthony Abrams.
Anthony, how's it going, sir?
And I'm blessed and highly favored. I cannot complain. I just want to chime in and say that I'm happy that you sent the message out and I was able to hop in on this call because you definitely were speaking to me and to step up to a higher calling in my greatness, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you being you in the message that you shared because it definitely gets home. Of course, this is similar to what everyone else has said, and you already know this, but you now have my personal stamp of how you impacted me. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it very much. And I wanted to encourage you to move towards your destiny. Thank you so much. I'll take one more caller. If there's anyone else that would like to have a comment, I'll take one more person. What's that? Somebody trying to get through? Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you dive just a little bit further in that and just kind of help me understand that statement a little bit more better? You made the comment that you don't need your gift, other people do, and you gave the analogy of the apple tree. Can you just dive a little deeper? I just got off work.
Yes, no, absolutely. So apple trees, the tree bears fruit, but an apple tree doesn't eat apples. Something else eats the apples. But the apple tree never gets more apples until it releases the apples that it's already produced. See, your gift, a singer doesn't need to sing for themselves. There's people that need to hear their music. A heart surgeon doesn't do heart surgery on himself. Even if he needed heart surgery, he can't do it on himself. He needs somebody else that's gifted at heart surgery. There is some skill, talent, ability, something that you have. It is your God-given gift. It is your blessing. As my friend this weekend put it, it is your God-given equity. And somebody needs it.
Wow.
You see? Someone needs it. And if you don't share it, you're not just hurting you. You're hurting them. Your gift is the air to someone's lungs. Help them breathe. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're certainly welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, I've certainly appreciated you being on this call tonight. I'll let you know how you can get in touch with me. You can go to my website, www.rubenwcsa.com. I've got some excellent news for you. My fearless leader and mentor, Les Brown, we filmed a TV show on Monday, this past Monday, and it's going to air as soon as they finish editing it, and I will be more than happy to let you know when it's going to air, but I would need your contact information. So if you go to my website, rubenwcsa.com, just fill out your information and just put in TV show, if that's what you want to know, and I'll send you that information when it's going to air. But you do not want to miss this show. It was supposed to be a 45-minute interview. It ended up being an hour and 8-minute interview, and they said, man, we're going to have to struggle to decide what to cut out. It was so good, they're thinking about making 2 shows out of it. So you can go to my website, rubenwest360.com. Another thing you can do is you can reach out to me on Facebook, Ruben West, RUBEN-WEST. And if you want to share a message, a comment about my message tonight, I certainly appreciate it. You can also leave a message on my Fearless Leaders website, Facebook page, Les Brown on Facebook. And if you want to know where Les Brown is in the world, you go to his website, lesbrown.com. And there you'll find out information on where he is and where he's going to be next. But here's what I want to say. That I told you today that you have to go get your dreams. And I want to leave you with this quote by Napoleon Hill. And he said, life is like a checkerboard, and the player opposite you is time. If you hesitate before moving or neglect to move your men promptly, your players will be wiped off the board by time. You are playing a different opponent who will not tolerate indecision. Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out. Go back and get your dream. Thank you.